Yeah, I mean, I've been called dumb once or twice in my life. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Two Dumb Idiots. I'm Nick. And
I'm not Nick.
That's not Nick, so you can just call him other guy.
Yeah, Nick and whoever shows up.
That's right. Appreciate you guys tuning in today. We have a eclectic show for you guys, full with.
When don't we?
That's right. We love to keep it completely random. Just to give you guys a heads up, I am not feeling 100% today, so Lamb is going to probably carry the show for me. Because of that, we will probably also make it a little bit of a quicker show today. So, but
yeah. So if Nick steps away, you're welcome, folks.
I'm throwing up. I'm sorry about that, but I'm here. I'm muscling it out, so I appreciate that, guys.
So, speaking of which, I think I'm going to shout you out for that.
Hey,
because last week, as you guys know, we didn't have a show because of some sort of incident, which Nick will or will not get into at some point. And due to that, and we're assuming lingering effects of that, still gutting it out for the people, giving them what they want.
Feeling pretty crummy, stomach upset, feeling kind of vomity, but I'm here, and I love this show. I love doing it, so I don't know, man. I didn't want to miss it today, so we're here.
Wasn't done with my shout-out, buddy.
Oh, sorry.
I appreciate it.
Sorry,
cool.
there was a long pause. I thought so. Sorry.
No, I was going to transition into what I was also going to shout you out for. Oh. You've been kicking ass and taking names in the fitness game.
Hey, thank you, Lamb. I appreciate that, man.
You really, re-inspired me to, get going. Like, I was kind of, getting a little soft on the quarantine. And, it was just mentally, for me, it was what I needed to do. And it wasn't great. But then, seeing you really, get it really helped me get back into the swing of things. And I've, gone back to the gym. And it's really, helping me mentally. And I appreciate it.
Hey,
I
man.
wanted to give you a shout-out for
Hey, I appreciate that. I can say firsthand that you see somebody else near you do well. You see somebody start to work out. It kind of motivates you. And for me,
I just didn't want you to look better than me.
Totally understand.
It's a complete spite. It was not. It had nothing to do with I want to be like. No, I want to be better than him.
I totally understand. But I tell people all the time. Anytime I talk to somebody about fitness, I say, look, I don't care what your reason is. I don't care if you hate your next door neighbor to the point where you want to be in better shape. Whatever it takes, get there. I think that's whatever. So, but I can say for me, last few months I've really been eating healthy and working out. And aside from this, hey, Laura, welcome in here. I think that's Derek. Derek, welcome to the show, man. Appreciate you jumping in the show. That was really awesome. Yeah, new follower. Already. That's fantastic. Double shout out. Yeah, that's right. Appreciate that, DJ. Welcome in, brother.
We didn't have any shout outs, so I shout out Nick twice separately.
Hey, that's right. I got 2 shout outs today. But
he's twice as good as you.
Wow. No,
yeah.
I mean, for me, though, for real, the show's starting off on a great foot. Fart noises and everything. No, but for me, honestly, I can tell people if you're thinking about working out, if you're thinking about, I've been kind of slacking on this quarantine. One thing I can tell you is, like I said, besides from these last couple weeks, right? Last week I felt awful. If you're having stomach pains, if you have low energy, if you're having, if you feel like food is messing with you, any of that kind of stuff, you start to focus on your diet, you start to focus on working out. You would be amazed 2 months in, and you look around and you're like, I don't have any more stomach pains. I don't do this. I have tons of energy. Certain things will change. Your mood changes. Your outlook on life changes. So
it's kind of counterintuitive to think you're I'm tired. You should work out. You should do something that would theoretically make you more tired, but then it actually on the back end ends up your body builds up more.
Yeah. No. Hey, thank you, Paul. I appreciate that too, man. That's really sweet. But Paul said, bringing out the better side.
Hold on, real quick. I got this prepped.
Oh, nice.
So watch this. I just want to, every now and then, I'm just going to shout out Paul.
Paul! Moderator, bow, he's in the chat. There he is. Paul, we just gave you a shout. There you go. All right, let's go ahead and get
every now and then, I'm just going to pop that in.
I love it. Yeah, he's our moderator. He gets as much time as he wants.
Paul, so you're going to have to work.
Gotta
get that love.
First story of the day.
Because we like to keep it light around here.
Bud Light. We like to start the show on a very fun and kind of, like Lamb said, a light note. There was a really funny story the other day. So if you guys don't know, in California, they're having a little bit of an issue with forest fires. It's very dry out here. We don't get a lot of rain, and so things tend to ignite on just a moment's notice. And a guy recently was trying to protect his house. He had, and actually, this part of the story is kind of interesting. He had sprayed everything in his area, his backyard. He had covered his backyard in water. I think he had dug out areas where he could, you know, make a moat kind of thing. He had done everything he could, and then all of a sudden, as the fire was getting genuinely close, they cut the water to his house. Now, I think they cut the water to the whole area, but they cut it to his house. And he was really worried that he would lose his home. So he started looking around his house. The only thing he had left, a couple 30 packs of Bud Light. So he said that even though his friends always make fun of him for drinking watered-down beer, he said it really came in handy.
I love the first line of this article.
What's that? A California man used Bud.
No, I highlighted and read for it.
Oh, it's the fire hose of beers. That's really great.
I'm just picturing him too. Like, didn't he say like stabbed him so he could like shake him up and spray it?
That's exactly what he said. He was almost like the
shotgun.
Yeah, exactly. He was jamming a key in there, and then he was just spraying the fire with beer. If you're the next door neighbor, right? I'm sure the neighbor wasn't there anymore, but if he was, that would have been the best view of all time. Looking out there, your neighbor just one beer after the next, fighting the fire.
I'm hoping he's like Stone Cold Steven, like taking two, smashing them together.
I'm hoping he's like every other guy that drinks Bud Light. He had like a Bud Light hat and like a Bud Light shirt on out there.
Yeah, Dale Jr. Like,
just living it up. So we thought the story was great. Bud Light, not only good for drinking beer and getting drunk, also good for putting out fires.
If anybody ever like cracks on you or like complains you got too many beers around,
let them know, dude.
Let them know it's for safety.
It's for safety purposes. In case there's a fire that breaks out, Bud Light
You need emergency supplies.
Apparently, too, it actually did help. Apparently, he said he really did. Beer after beer after beer kept dumping on this fire, and he said eventually he legitimately saved like a shed or something in his backyard because of it. So
I wouldn't be surprised that foam has like some fire properties.
I don't think fire likes beer. I think that's
fire likes beer.
Yeah, I don't think it doesn't like beer. Nah. Okay,
so fire's more of like a wine.
Yeah, fire's more like a wine fan. Yeah, maybe
it probably really
it's hard liquor.
Loves that Everclear. Yeah, really loves that Everclear.
That's right. All right.
Jungle juice.
Next story. This is something we wanted to cover the other week. On Monday, we told you guys we had 2 toilet stories.
We forgot one.
We forgot one.
This is toilet story number 2.
Ooh, I see what you did there. So Tokyo has decided that they have come up with a genius idea for public restrooms.
I love that it says tourist or latest attraction. Like it's like
I think they did it as kind of a PR gimmicky stunt.
Of course.
Yeah.
This is not a cheap thing.
No.
By any means.
One of the things they said that, okay, so in case you don't know how this works, what they did was they put these bathrooms in public places, and then around the bathrooms they put these special translucent kind of glass, and what the glass does is when nobody is in the bathroom, it's completely see-through, so that any passerby can walk up and see not only that the bathroom is clean, but they can see that it's empty and it's not in use. Now, obviously that sounds kind of creepy, because what if you want to go in there and use it? But then when you step inside, apparently when you lock the door, this is what it looks like. So then all of a sudden the glass becomes opaque and becomes more difficult to see through, almost impossible to see through. So yeah, Exhibit A, Exhibit B. So apparently a lot of people were very scared to use them because they weren't 100% sure that they would work. There's not something you want like a malfunction with, you know?
Well, like, it's not like it's one way, like you can still see out.
Right.
Like as soon as it's frosted all the way through.
Right.
So you'll know if it's working or not.
That's true. That's true. I guess
maybe halfway through is when you're panicking that it would like malfunction.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how it works. I don't know if there's a button or a switch, or if it just goes by the doors or closed or something.
I think it's the locking thing, and it's just electricity passes through the glass and it becomes frosted.
Okay. So again, maybe if that like connection becomes broken.
Power outage, little earthquake, a little jiggle while you're on there, and then
just 3 guys in the toilet just looking over. Yeah. So I do like the idea. Again, I think we covered an idea on Monday where you can pee into a plant and help it grow. I think that idea is way cooler.
To me, I feel like this basically could be fixed with like a sign that you flip over, like a red, a light occupied. Yep. Like it just seems like a really complex solution to not a huge problem.
Now, the one thing you did tell me though, I did like this though. You said to me, "I guarantee the bathrooms will be kept cleaner because of this, because you don't want to. You're not going to be wanting to leave the bathroom trash because everybody saw you in it, right? I guess so. Maybe that's a thing." But yeah, we thought it was kind of cool. I don't imagine we were able to see anything like this anywhere, like maybe in America, just because I think it's probably expensive.
I've actually seen this glass in America. Like I've seen bathroom doors that do this, and just to like look cool.
Okay.
I think if DJ says, "What time? How long does it take?" It's almost instantaneous.
Yeah, apparently
it's like flipping a light switch.
Yep.
Literally, just boom. Yeah, it doesn't like have to like build up. Like I picture it like starting at the bottom, and it's like a slow build. Like it's just
You're just
like,
leaning over the top, saying goodbye to family as it disappears. Yeah,
It looks like you're like. Oh, it'd be so cool if they could make it like animated.
it's
Like it's like filling with water, like it's some sort of
Oh, that is great.
Like you're just like no, you're pretending it's like
that would actually be pretty epic. Yeah. Like I said, I think DJ it's instantaneous. I don't think it's like those transition sunglasses where they like take like a really long time to load.
Just fade.
Yeah. Like I don't think that's how it works. I think it's almost like I don't think you have to sit there and wait to pee and just stare at the glass and wait for.
And they're like people are looking at you, looking at them. You coming out? You going in?
Yeah,
What's going on?
yeah.
No, I think it's pretty instant.
Yeah, so pretty funny there. Lamb also had a story for you guys. Not really even like a long story. I just thought it was funny. The music band that you were telling me.
Oh
about.
yeah. Apparently, well, we'll leave it on the toilets because that's appropriate.
Yeah, that's right. There you go.
But apparently the band Smash Mouth performed at Sturgis, the motorcycle rally. There was like 200,000 people. It's in one of the Dakotas. I think it's North Dakota, but I'm not 100%
I think I heard
sure.
a ton of people came sick from that or something.
Yeah, there's already a bunch of people being sick, and is what it is.
Yeah.
But apparently, because they performed and without masks, they are getting a lot of hate mail. Now, I don't know if they're getting a lot of hate mail because they actually just performed live and everybody hates them, or if this is just their standard hate mail. It's kind of like they think it's related to Sturgis and it's just mixed in with their daily hate mail.
You're saying Smash Mouth probably gets a lot of hate mail anyway.
I would imagine.
Here's what I'll say about Smash Mouth. I feel like they only have like 2 songs.
And one of them's from Shrek, which is a remake of a Monkey song, which is a cover band already.
Wow, you just went deep on that. I did not
But
know
I
that.
just find it hilarious that the Monkeys, which weren't a real band,
then they got their
made
music.
a song which became famous and then got covered by another band.
And then they became famous because of it. Yeah. I also thought, I guess a lot of people were upset that they did a concert, like you said, because people weren't wearing masks and a lot of people got sick. I think they really missed a great opportunity for like a pun or something. Their name's Smash Mouth. You guys be like, all right, thanks for the Smash Mouth concert. Make sure and smash those masks over your mouth and let's get this thing started. I mean, it could have been great.
I know. They could literally be the poster band.
Yeah.
Write a little Smash Mouth, like
Smash
mask.
Mouth.
Smash mask.
Smash Mouth mask. Yeah, there you go. So Smash Mouth got inundated with some hate mail.
Hey.
What's going on? Hey, we got a subscriber. Hey, fantastic. Hey, appreciate that, Laura. That was very, very nice. That was very. We love the subscription. If you guys don't know, you guys can actually link your Amazon Prime account to this Twitch here, and you guys can give us subscriptions for a month, every single month for free. It gives us money to keep the show going, and it doesn't cost you anything. So that's a win-win for everybody. Another little tidbit information before we move on to our first good story. We do like to bash a little bit of people on the show that we don't think are doing a good job, and you had a little bit of bashing to do before we want to move on.
Yeah, I saw this stat, and it actually put into perspective something for me. So Jeff Bezos just went over $200 billion in wealth. Yeah. And it's weird because normally I could care less, but this man seems to actively not want to share or, charitable donations or anything.
Right.
So that's where I got the big problem. Like Bill Gates, hopefully he gets more money because he seems to be giving it away.
Agreed. Certain people really do seem to know what to do with it.
And yeah, the one good thing that's coming out of this is Mackenzie Bezos also got bought off in the divorce with stock. So as Amazon goes up, her stock goes up, and she's already pledged to give 95% of it away. So
such a
so
weird
it's kind of
dynamic
like
there for me.
Yeah,
like the
kinda
wife
like,
is still rooting for the ex-husband.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's just like, but she's giving it away.
Every
so
time the
like,
ex-husband makes money, like he's pissed off. He's making
I do kind of like that. But he worth $200 billion. They said that if you were alive when the pyramids in Egypt were built.
Sorry, somebody just said, "Hey, now you're a poop star."
Yeah, DJ, I saw that one.
That's pretty funny. All right. Go ahead.
If you were alive when the pyramids were built and you made $100,000 a day.
If you were alive when the pyramids were built and you made $100,000 a day.
And you lived till today.
Every day till
Every day till today. 4,500 years. 4,500 years approximately. You would still not have as much money as Jeff Bezos. If you didn't spend $1.
That is really hard for my brain to grasp.
So
$100,000 every day.
So Yeah, so 365 days a year for 4,500 years.
You would still have not.
You'd still be like 30 or 40 billion dollars short of what he has now.
Oh my gosh, that is really hard to hear. That means if he wanted to, every day for the rest of his life, he could give away 250 grand to a charity and never go broke.
Never even come close.
Never even come close.
And it would take like
he could give away $1 million a day.
Yeah,
he could give away $1 million a day for
it would
50 years and nothing would happen.
If he gave away $1 million a day, it would be like 2.5 years for him to give away 1 billion.
Wow.
And he has 200. So you multiply that. So that's like what? 450 years?
Yeah, right.
To give if he didn't make another dollar ever and he gave away $1 million a day, it would still take 450 years.
That is an insane
for him to give it away.
Like, it's like, why not?
So
like, there's nothing like I understand.
So you up it to 5 million, and it's still 100 years for him to give it away.
Somebody just said my math check out.
Yeah,
there it is,
right there. Like I said, yeah, he's 35 bill short of what he has now.
164 billion, 250 million.
Yeah, is what you would make.
Wow. But you'd still be short, Matt.
Yeah.
You'd still be short. That's what he's saying. You did that for 4,500 years. You still wouldn't have the cash. That is so hard for me to grasp. It'd be like if you could
still be 35 billion short.
Like I'm saying, if you thought to yourself,
you'd still be like the 5th richest person away.
If you said to yourself, I'm gonna make 100 grand a day for the rest of my life, you'd be like, in your head, just before you did any math, you'd be like, I'm gonna be the richest guy on the whole planet. Yeah. And you'd realize you could be around for almost 5,000 years, and still that wouldn't be the case.
Not even close.
That is so insane to me. All right, Jeff, just start giving it away, dude.
But I'm saying, if he gave away 5 million a year, 5 million a day,
5 million a day.
It'd still take 100 years for him to give away his money.
And he's not going to live more than... He's old. He's not going to live more than 50
And that's
years.
if he never made
another dollar, which is not also the case.
Yeah, he's making more than 5 million
This is something that me and you have said. Is like, why not? Okay, so like all he'd have to do is get in a room and he'd talk to his secretary and say, look, I want to figure out... Give me like 300 of the best charities in the world. Give me some small ones, some big ones, some homeless ones, some disease ones, some research ones. Put it up on a wheel. Every day we're spinning this wheel live on TV, and I'm going to give away $1 million to that charity every single day. Everybody would love that.
He would be the most celebrated person.
People would constantly be looking at, like you said too.
You'd watch it every day.
People would watch it every day. People would love to know where it's going, and people would love to throw their own dollars right behind it. Be like, hey, I'm in on that action too, right? That would yeah. So that I think that's actually kind of crazy. He's 58. Oh, he's 58. Okay, so I mean, still. He's not gonna live to be 100. There's no way.
Even if he lives up 50 more years, he would still only give away half his money.
Only half his money at $5 million a day.
Yeah,
that is actually that's just so bananas. So we're back.
But I'm just saying, like literally, like if he was giving away $1 million a day to charities, and people could like apply. Charities could apply. They check them out. Like there's a little process, make sure they're not phony charities or whatever. But
some small charities in there that barely get anything.
That's what I mean. Like like a local food bank or something.
Boom! Here's $5 million.
Yeah, like there's $1 million. Like you're funded for the next 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, you could literally change the world, man. Every time if you did that to all sorts of small sections of the United States and the world, you could quite literally just start to fix all sorts of small problems. You're not gonna put a Band-Aid on everything, but you could definitely start, man.
Yeah, and then you telling me that other people wouldn't see that and see all the awesome press and follow suit?
Yeah, I'm sure there'd be
find out about charities they never heard of, and they're like, "Oh, that's interesting. I want to donate to that."
I'm sure there's other billionaires that would want to enjoy the same kind of spotlight as well, and they would want to jump on. Yeah, so
they're like, you just start doling this money out, and nobody be like, it's like weird.
Copyright. Yeah, we're copyrighting that idea, so that way if he does it, we at least get like a percentage.
Yeah,
of it. So there you go.
It's fine.
That just saved our butt.
There you go, Jeff. Yeah, and then you telling me that you wouldn't be more willing to shop at Amazon if he's giving away $1 million a day?
That's also true. I've said that a lot too. Is that I don't.
Shout out to Paul for that one.
I also think that as a CEO, people really do look right at you at like a DNA level. And it's like if you're a horrible human being, it really will pull people back. And I think if On the opposite, if you're like, man, I love this guy, you can't. Okay, so even like Tesla, like, okay, Elon Musk has kind of gone into like the weird end recently. But remember at first when he came out, he was like solving problems and rock star, and people like loved it. People couldn't go, you couldn't buy enough Tesla stuff. I think when you start to be a really likable character, I think people want to buy your product more. It's amazing to me that. Like Mark Zuckerberg, it's like, dude, go out and donate some money, do something great. You know what I mean? Do something.
Like, why you have to be a douche?
Yeah, it's just like you got all the money, you can get women, cars, yachts, boats. Steak,
no, but you can do all that. But
shrimp.
if you're giving money away, nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Like, they're like, yeah, he's enjoying the money he has, but he's also giving away money to charity.
100%.
They would care less if you have a giant mega yacht, but if you're spinning that wheel on that mega yacht every day,
nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
People are like, he's living it up and he's donating money. People are like, this is the best of both worlds.
Yeah, this guy should live it up. He earned it. Like
100%.
versus like, seems like a dragon sitting on a pile of gold. What a jerk.
Yeah. So we're gonna take a shit on old Jeff Bezos today, and then we're gonna move on to a nice little story that I thought was kind of cool, and I really have some questions about here. So Lamb was telling me that there have been some openings here. Oh, yeah, no, the one to your right. No, yeah, that one. That's right, right? No, you had it. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought we were switching now.
Oh, no, that one. I want to talk about this. So you said, or you want to pull this up for them, or do you don't care?
I forgot I had it. I took it away because we were just chilling with that one.
Reminds me of a funny tweet I saw. I posted on Twitter. New idea for a show. Who wants to be a millionaire, but all the contestants are billionaires, so it's more of a threat. I like that. That would be really funny. If they take all the billionaires and like, all right, who wants to be a millionaire? We're going to take all your money away. So Lamb said that apparently because of, COVID and everything, a lot of gyms shut down. You've said that almost prohibition style, there have been gyms opening back up. Is that right?
In secret. Like, obviously, it depends state to state and what the regulations are. But like California here, gyms, at least inside, are not allowed to be open. They've recently been allowed to open with the outside, but there are apparently a lot of states not allowing gyms to be open, at least at first. And there was these basically like Fight Club style gyms that were opening, and where like they weren't, if you found out about it and you got into it, cool, but you don't talk about it, you don't post it on social media, you don't do anything. And it's actually becoming an issue because like a few of the gyms were open, and so other people that didn't go to that gym would start going there, and all of a sudden there was like way too many people in these tiny little
things. Fight Club anymore, yeah.
And then they're like not people that just normally go there, and then they were talking about because of that, like they were charging these people more. That because they were out from outside their like client base and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So prices were going up. Like the cleaning was kind of slipping a little bit because like everybody was like. It's like everything. Like the regulations start slipping because you're doing everything under the table.
If it's 10 people working out, it's easy to keep it clean, keep it organized, and even kind of, I don't know if they're paying or not, but it's easy to kind of keep control of. As soon as kind of the word starts to get out, it does kind of, even in like the movie Fight Club, as soon as they start to get too many members, it starts to get like really weird, right?
Yeah, you can only have so many people keep a secret.
But they said it's like a speakeasy in there. That's what the article says. It's kind of like a speakeasy. People are sneaking off to go to the gym. So I'm not saying I think it's
like, just roll up to a door, you're like checking both ways, and then you like go in.
Yeah. I think it's funny because, like I said, I said to you off air, it's kind of a first world thing. Like, it's funny to me that we're in the middle of a pandemic, we're in the middle of people struggling, and a lot of people don't have jobs, but working out in this generation specifically has become so important that people don't even want to miss it. So now instead of like sneaking off to get alcohol or sneaking off to get, people are sneaking out to get a workout in, which I think is kind of crazy for our generation, but kind of cool. Like working out in the shadows, like they say.
You can't have the lights on because people might see you.
like bench pressing in the dark stuff's really dangerous.
You have people have like headlamps on. Like everybody, like a cop rolls by, people think people are like breaking in.
Oh, that's true too. I wonder. They have to be paying rent for these places, right? And I wonder if they're not paying rent now because they're not allowed to have them open, right?
Yeah, I don't know if they're getting rent relief, but
there's also people. That were again. You have like a few people, like you said to me off air. If you have like 4 or 5 people in there, or 10 people in there, and all the people and maybe you kind of circulate in the same groups, maybe you won't stand the chance of catching something, but you start to bring in 30, 40 people to a closed gym, all of a sudden you kind of up your chances of, you kind of defeat the point of like having like a speakeasy gym.
I know. It's like, again, it's like, that critical mass. Like, you apparently like it's a big thing. Like people have been like posting like to try and go to other people's like garage gyms.
Yeah.
and like work out like secret things and like, deals and stuff like, I'll pay you if I can come to your garage and work out and stuff like that.
I don't
that
know.
I'm a little more for. If that's just like, one other person coming to your garage gym regularly or something but
I do think this is cool though. If you're showing up to a gym that's closed, you are probably getting it in there. Like nobody's forcing you to be there at that
those
point.
are people that really
they want to go. What were you gonna say?
I just came up with an idea.
Hit me.
Airbnb, but for home gyms.
Whoa. So you come to my house, you give me $5.
Yeah, whatever.
You borrow my home gym.
Yeah.
Now, we have a home gym out back. The bench press is a little dangerous.
Let's qualify home gym.
We have a lot of weights out back.
There's a bunch of metal.
Yeah, there you go. There's a bunch of metal out in my backyard. The bench press is quite literally falling apart, so I wouldn't bench on it. But than that,
Tony does it all the time.
So do I. Other than that, though, a lot of weights, a lot of selection. As long as somebody signed a waiver, so you go out there and you conk yourself in the head, and I don't got to pay for it. I would let somebody come to my place for like $3-4 every single time. Come in my backyard, slam.
I was thinking more than that, but
my neighbor's gonna be pissed, dude. Just constantly metal out there
all day long. There's just people there like, what is going on? They're
like
working out 24 hours a day.
This guy in like a competition. Is he a football player?
Selling water bottles.
I got T-shirts out there. Yeah, I got a megaphone yelling at people.
Yeah, setting up workouts. Sounds like you're just opening a gym at this point.
I'm gonna lose my apartment in no time.
Apparently, we
got we do got a copyright. That's a pretty good idea. All right, let's go ahead and move on.
Paul said extra $5, you can jump in the pool.
Oh my goodness, that's right. I do it. Oh my god, that's a good deal. $5 for the workout, an extra $5 for the pool. Boom.
$1 for a bottle of water.
Boom. There you go. Oh yeah, I definitely have bottled water here. Oh man, this is a really good idea. All right, if you live in around me,
anybody in the SoCal area, hit us up.
Hit me up.
Smoothie Stand. Malcolm wants us running smoothies now. We do have 2 blenders now that have moved in here. The exact same blender, which I find hilarious.
Just twice the blending. Dude.
Yeah, we're just gonna blend all day long. Neighbors are gonna love that too.
Cling, cling.
We'll blend them outside to make sure they can hear them.
For sure. I want them to know we're really taking this health thing seriously. All right, let's go ahead and move on. There's something we also wanted to cover last week, but we thought was kind of funny. I was originally a Borat disbeliever. I remember when Borat first came out, I was a guy that didn't think I would like the movie. I remember like seeing clips of it and thinking it looked really hacky and stupid. And then lo and behold, my old roommate Pat moved in with me and explained to me that it's one of those movies that you got to sit down drunk or something and watch this and give it another shot. I said, all right. So I sat down. I laughed hysterically at it. I totally understand it. It is not for everybody. If you've never seen it, it is essentially Sacha Baron Cohen dressed as a guy from Kyrgyzstan or Kazakhstan or somewhere, and he walks around literally just pranking people all day. It is either 100% for you or it's 100% not for you. Yeah, I will say that.
I'm a not.
Yeah, you're a not guy, right? Yeah, you just don't like people.
It's like I can appreciate it for what it is, but the problem is
somebody said tetanus booster.
Yeah, definitely gotta include the tetanus booster in the gym.
That's really funny.
But for
feels
me,
like he's been here before.
I know. For me, it's these people don't know they're in on the jokes, and some of it isn't. It's not mean spirited.
No, none of his stuff is really mean spirited.
But some of it paints these people, I think, in not the best way.
Right.
And it's not their intention to be what they're like to come off the way they are.
I understand, but I do believe they have to sign a paperwork afterwards saying like, "Hey, we can." I would
imagine.
Yeah, right. So, but anyway, the point of this is they filmed him recently, and you can't see it from this picture, but he is actually attached to a filming truck. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so he's obviously filming something in Borat costume. So a lot of people are speculating this could be Borat 2. Which did make me kind of excited and kind of sad at the same time. And we were talking about this because there's a lot of times that, like, especially with comedies, as I was looking through the list here of sequels, comedies are the ones that really struggle to have a solid second movie. Yeah. I feel like
it's so tough to come up with a good premise to begin with.
Yeah.
That it's even tougher to take that same premise
and make it funny
again in a different way.
Right. No, and I 100% agree with you. I think sometimes when you have this funny idea, you almost build the idea around a lot of funny ideas or a lot of funny jokes. You're like, okay, I think, you know, working at a hospital is funny because you have this, this, and this. Okay, let's make a movie. You make a movie and you tell all those jokes. Now, if you want to do it again, you can't reuse all those jokes. So now you've got to kind of create funnier things, different funny things.
Usually use your A material.
Right, you do. And so we actually started looking through. We said, okay, is there, like, what else is there that, like, has completely failed from a sequel perspective? Do you want to back out of this? We wouldn't see him. But one of the things, okay,
People want to see our faces.
well, that's debatable.
That's what they said in the
okay,
chat.
so we were curious here, guys. If you can think of off the top of your head, what is some of the worst sequels you've ever seen? What is something?
Paul already gave us an example. Waiting, the first movie, great. Still Waiting, terrible. I agree
I have
wholeheartedly.
never seen Still Waiting. Didn't even know there was.
Don't recommend it.
Never would see. But again, another comedy. Tried to go again.
Great premise.
Great premise. Restaurants. A lot of funny stuff there. Waiting tables. A lot of humor there. A lot of humor stuff there. And then they try to go after it again, and they fall on their face. I've never seen. I didn't even know there was another Waiting. I thought.
Yeah, it's so terrible. I don't recommend.
No Ryan Reynolds. Probably.
No Ryan Reynolds. I don't
Anybody there?
A couple of the smaller people.
Okay. So, I mean, we looked at, what else did we look at? Okay, so the first one, we started debating Die Hard. Okay, so everybody loves Die Hard 1. If you don't, fine. But most people love Die Hard 1. And actually, me and Lamb said this, we love Die Hard 3.
Yeah.
You got Samuel Jackson. You got...
great premise. Jeremy Irons, great bad guy.
Great bad guy. But number 2, for some reason, complete pile of shit.
Nick wasn't even familiar with the premise of the movie. I had to explain it to him. It was so bad.
I was like, I literally have seen like all the Die Hards, and you started talking about it. I said, I don't think I've seen this movie in 20 years. You said there was some really great scene where greatest Christmas movie ever. Agree with you on that. You said there's some horrible scene in Die Hard 2 where what's the ending scene?
So the ending scene is John McClane, Bruce Willis is fighting a guy on a plane, on the wing of a plane as it's going down a runway. And
I'm okay with it so far.
Yeah. And first off, this fight scene takes way longer than a plane would ever take.
Yeah, to take off.
Yeah, to take off. Then, magically, there's a gas cap on the wing, which I'm not sure if that's true. And he undoes this gas cap, knocks it off, so the gas is pouring out.
It's not a Ford truck, right?
It literally looks like a gas cap.
Oh my God, Ocean's 12. Oh my God, that's such a good. Sorry, continue your story, but Ocean's 12 is so right.
So he knocks his gas cap off. Gas is leaking out on the thing, and he gets knocked off the wing or jumps off the wing. I can't remember. And he's laying on the tarmac, and it's covered in snow. I remember this.
Yeah.
And he pulls out a lighter and lights it and lights the gas, and it flies up through the air and goes into the plane and immediately explodes the entire plane.
Blows the plane up? Oh, okay.
And plane's full of bad guys.
Classic. Yeah.
And he says, yeah, like, burn in hell, or whatever he says. Like, you know, like.
I'm the juggernaut, bitch. You're like, what?
Like, that seems
that's a different movie. So it does seem, like I said, I think if there's elements of comedy in a movie, and maybe it doesn't have to even be classified, but if a movie is premised around humor or it's a main component of the movie, I really do think they struggle. I know they made a Super Troopers 2. I never saw it because people told me to literally stay away from it.
I know. I love Super Troopers so much that I've not watched.
Can't do it
because of my love of it.
Yes,
I've not watched the second
I'm the exact same way. Actually, I have a very similar story about Dumb and Dumber. As soon as Dumb and Dumber came out, again, if you've seen Dumb and Dumber, you love Dumb and Dumber. If you've seen Dumb and Dumber, chances are you didn't like it. Somebody's like, oh, there's a couple really funny scenes. I was like 40 minutes in, and I hadn't laughed once, and I was just getting pissed off, so I turned it off. It's like, how could you can't remake a movie like that with the exact same idea and expect and then change all the actors and expect it to work. So we had that. Ocean's 12 is a really good example because I love Ocean's 11 and I actually love Ocean's 13.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Ocean's 12 right there in the middle is just
it just doesn't come off right. I don't know if the bad guy's like too likable.
No, I don't know.
Like in a way, like he's kind of like cool and suave, and you're like,
yeah,
not like you're like, oh, why can't he just like join your team and be cool? And like,
yeah,
like I love when they're like sticking it to the man and stuff like that, but like,
yeah,
just like trying to outsmart another thief, that doesn't really
doesn't do it for you.
Doesn't do anything.
On that list that we looked up worst sequels that did piss Lamb off, was Home Alone 2, not Home Alone 3. I know.
Well, Home Alone 3 was on the list.
Right, but Home Alone 3 was on the list, but Home Alone 2 was also there.
Don't be putting Home Alone 2 on there. That is a classic. It is so good.
Okay, all right. So I will say this. Let's say Home Alone 1 is like a 98%. Home Alone 2 is like an 80%, right?
That was right. I was going to say maybe 85, but
okay.
yeah.
It's
a slight step down, but it's
a
still,
drop. Yeah, but it's not.
It's only bad because Home Alone 1 is so good.
Correct, and they kind of use the same premise, but the only thing I will give them credit for is the same thing that I'm bashing the other films for, is at least they like picked a different location. They picked like kind of a different idea in the sense of like it's not his house anymore.
Yeah.
Like if they had done the same, like the house again, like that'd have been like the dumbest movie of all time. Apparently there are as many Home Alones. There's like another Home Alone 3. Or
there's a Home Alone 3. I remember that.
Okay, and then but
I never saw it, but it had a
I think
completely different kid.
Years after,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Years after. We said Speed 2.
Cruise Control, baby.
Cruise Control. Again, Lamb had to even remind me of the plot, and I started remembering it, and I remember
it's a cruise ship that's out of control, bro.
Don't go below 30 knots.
I think it was just like the engine was on, and if it like ran out of gas, it exploded or something like that. It was like it was pretty basic, but it was like.
Anybody in the chat? What else you guys got? I had oh my god, I actually busted out laughing when I saw Weekend at Bernie's 2. Are they still dragging this old bastard around? Are we still supposed to be pretending that he's dead?
It is the same guy,
It's the same dude. So we're like, this dude be decomposing. He does like shit himself. Like his like face would be weird.
Yeah, fingers are falling off.
There'd be no color left in his face. Like you can't drag this guy around for.
I actually rewatched the first one maybe a year and a half ago.
Pretty funny.
I thought it was terrible.
Really? I thought it was
I
really funny.
couldn't enjoy it. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was Bernie's 2 and I didn't realize it, but it was so bad. I did not enjoy it at all. The premise I thought was funny, but it was just it fell flat to me.
I see. I actually disagree. I think the two actors that the small, like the kid and the whatever the newspaper, not newspaper, but they're like stocks or something. I don't know what they do. Something in New York.
They work for his company or like interns or something.
Yeah, and those two actors are actually kind of funny. But I mean, just the scenes of like him falling over the balcony and things like that. Some of the humor is trite. Some of the humor is not that funny because if you know exactly what you're going in for, a dead guy being dragged around, I think it does lose a little bit of its humor. But if you go into it brand new, I think there is a sense of humor. I think you can't rewatch it a million times unless you've seen it like the first time without knowing. I think that's a true thing. But I really think it's funny that there's a second one that they're still like not burying this dude and telling people he's dead.
We need him.
We need
Dig
him.
him up.
Gonna drag him around for years. I also found out that they made a mask with Jim Carrey, a second one, not with Jim Carrey, called The Son of the Mask. People said it was one of the worst films ever created, so I just want to watch it purely based on that. Oh my God damn it, Paul! Are you in our film room with us? Are you in the pre-game meeting? That is get the hell out. That is crazy, dude.
Paul is in the pre-show.
You literally just said that maybe a minute before I just said it.
It was more like 1 second.
1 second. That is crazy.
It's like typing it before you said it.
Yeah, that's crazy, Paul. Yeah, Son of the Mask. Like I can't believe that there's actually a second to that movie. A Nutty Professor too. Like I love the Nutty.
Terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
I love
the first one. I love.
I love the Nutty Professor. I thought they like broke down walls with that one. Actually, like
it's Dave Chappelle. It's very early Chappelle. Like takes that hat off and he's got the ridiculous hair under their hat.
He's got all the great mama jokes.
Yeah.
He's like what's really great is Dave Chappelle's like an actual comedian. Like he could have just gone up there and done his own shtick.
Yeah.
But he decided to like do that like walk and like the yo mama. Yeah. He's great, man. Yeah. And then Eddie Murphy plays every single character.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I don't know. To me, that's
that's
really
prosthetics in that movie. That was that first thing he did, and then it was at the dinner table.
Every old person at that dinner table has a completely different voice and a completely different personality.
Yeah, and they had to film them separately and put it all together and time it and like, oh man, it was.
Think about getting my colon cleansed. It's such a great scene.
Hercules.
Yeah, I mean, literally, it's like
that was part of like human culture for a decade. That Hercules.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody, yeah. There was like 10 lines from that movie that were probably around for a really long time. I mean,
spandex. All spandex.
I can't even remember him right now, but I know a lot of the mama jokes that he was saying on stage. I remember hearing for a very long time. Somebody said that they were going to make a Missed Outfire too, but it got canceled. Yeah, that would be really stupid. And then even like, okay, so I know you don't like Meet the Parents because you find it.
Fast and Furious 19. Thoughts?
Who is that? What does it say? Patricia?
Patricia.
Oh, that might be Patty. Put your fast. Yeah, okay. Look, so this is where I actually didn't even think
it's
of Fast.
weird. Fast and Furious 2 is probably the worst of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to say
And
this
then
out
there's
loud.
some other ones in the middle that are kind of junky, but 2 is straight garbage.
I don't care about Fast and the Furious at all. So I have quite literally seen number 1 and then stamped my card and checked out and never seen another one
You need to
since.
see like 5 to now.
Incorrect.
I'm just saying because they are completely different movies now. The cars are part of it, but they've turned into like heist movies.
Okay.
Which is like, and they're ridiculous, but they're
Yeah.
a good ridiculous. Like I'm not going back and rewatching them,
Yeah, it's
but they are something to put on and enjoy and just watch stuff blow up.
right on that hacky line
And
for
The
me.
Rock.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I like The Rock. So I like The Rock. Like you said, I know you don't like Meet the Parents, but it is at least a classic, and there's a lot of funny, really, really quotable stuff from that
Yeah.
movie. I didn't like anything after that. I didn't like the Fockers. I didn't like the Son of the Fockers. And none of that stuff. I thought it was all junk. Again, another comedy trying to do it again. What else? You said Leprechauns on the Hood.
Leprechaun in the Hood, baby.
I just got finished watching. I'm a little late, but I finished watching Altered Carbon the first season, and then I tried the second one. Actual trash.
Infuriatingly bad.
Infuriatingly bad.
The first
Independence.
season was so good.
Independence Day. Will Smith. Love it. Classic. My cousin can recite the entire Independence Day speech. They thought it would be necessary to come out with a number 2. They also
way later,
and they tried to get Will Smith. They said they
Yeah.
offered him like $1 zillion, and he said hell no. So I'm glad.
Smartly.
I didn't know this either. Christmas Vacation 2, Island Adventure. Have you seen this, Lamb?
What?
Christmas Vacation 2, Island Adventure. It's where it's apparently, I guess Eddie, is that his name in the movie? Eddie.
Griswold.
Eddie
Shitter's Clog.
Yes, that's Eddie's
Yeah.
Eddie. Eddie Griswold.
Quaid.
Yeah, Randy Quaid or Dennis
Yeah, Randy
Quaid.
Quaid.
Randy Quaid. Okay. Apparently, it's him on an island with his family, and they get like stranded there or something, and they try to make it's basically like a knockoff. Apparently, the movie's not even a full hour and a half. Apparently, they were so little content, like so little writing. It was apparently just a pile of crap. I also found this.
Guess we need to watch that.
I love Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and then there's Honey, I Blew Up the Kids. I can't
There's
even.
actually that's the third one, I think.
I don't even remember.
There's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids 2, and then Honey, I Blew Up the Kids, I think.
Well, I don't know that. There's nothing here that
The
we
Blew Up the Kid one is terrible because it's like a little baby, like a 5-year-old that they make like 70 feet tall. He turns into like basically the Stay Puft Marshall Man in like Vegas, and he's just like walking around like wrecking things.
That sounds so stupid. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids 1, the first
Groundbreaking.
I love it. There's
Those set pieces with the giant ants.
yeah, the ants and the leaves, and even like when the neighbor comes home and what's his name swinging around the backyard with the light, and he's
Yeah.
like, "What the hell's my neighbor doing?" There's so much relatable there. It's great. The neighbor's great. The kids are great. Okay, and again, this is also something now. I'm an adult, so maybe my perspective has changed. But kids' movies when I was a kid used to actually have some level of real fear to them. I don't know if they've taken that back, or maybe I'm just an adult, so I don't feel it anymore.
Like Labyrinth and Willow and things like that. They were kind of
Never-ending Story is a horrifying story. You know what I mean? It's like
it's
like
a kids movie. It's rated G.
Right. I mean,
And that horse dies, and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Old Yeller, like Jesus Christ.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is like a great story, but like I remember watching, me like, this is a terrifying idea, dude. Like a bee or something coming after me that's like 5 times my size is maybe just the most horrifying thing ever. Didn't know they needed a second one. Okay, so I wrote down Jurassic Park, and then my brother got all upset because he thought that
Number 2,
he said number 2 is good.
or are they talking about number 3?
Number 2 apparently has Vince Vaughn in it.
I do kind of remember that one.
I didn't. I don't remember this. Apparently, as Vince Vaughn, it still was directed by Steven Spielberg, and so apparently he said that was decent. But he said there's a couple along the lines that were really
pretty trash.
yeah, they were pretty trashy. And then also some of the Transformers, the Last Night. You said it takes place.
Well, it doesn't take place. It takes place in now, but they somehow bring like King Arthur and his sword into the Transformers universe, and
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like
just
the
jamming
writer
things
of
in.
that Gladiator 2 script
yeah,
got
yeah,
together.
it's like what? He needs a sword in this one, and you're like, well, what if it's Excalibur? Whoa, how would we do that? And like,
Pat wants to know if I had an echinacea. What else? What were people talking about over here? Tokyo Drift.
yeah, Tokyo Drift's solid. I like them.
That was just me with the Altered Carbon. Okay, so somebody else didn't like Altered Carbon. Okay, so we're not crazy on that. That was.
All right, so I got 2 movies.
Oh, so that was my dad asking
Yeah.
about for the Fast and Furious. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never watched any of the Fast and Furious. I've literally seen one of them. in less than an hour. Aircraft. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so I got two for you movies I think need sequels.
All right. Need sequels.
Need sequels.
Okay.
The Other Guys.
Love it, dude. I love The Other Guys. I love Will Ferrell.
I feel like those two characters could definitely
do it again.
If
they could find out a way to bring The Rock back into it, that would be really great.
Make The Rock play his son.
Yes,
he's like, I'm even bigger.
Yeah.
You know?
I would love that. They wiped out those people in the beginning of the movie, and I understand why they did it because they needed two main stars, but it would have been funny to have them there. They had Rob Riggle in that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's so good.
Yeah.
What's his name?
What's a Wayne's brother or something in there? What's that guy's name? That's Rob Riggle's partner. I don't know his name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I think he's making like Wayne's brother.
Yeah.
The other guys, too, would be...
But who is it? Michael Keaton. So underrated in that movie.
Michael Keaton literally makes the whole movie. Somebody said Gator needs his gat. The Other Guys, for me, is maybe one of the most underrated comedies ever, at least in my opinion, because
it is one that gets better with the more watches you get it. Because at first, there's so much you don't even realize.
Yeah, for sure.
But like the gun.
The wooden gun.
When it comes back stained, he's like, oh, they put a nice stain on it. You should probably write him a note. Thank him for that.
You're like, is that even in the script, you know? Like the Scrubs lines, or the TLC lines. I don't want no scrub. He's like, are you referencing TLC, or you just? He's like, all right, but you guys got to be quiet. You got to creep. Okay, nobody says creep unless you're creep. Like it's just one great quote after the next. I also love I love Keaton's line about he's like when he's working at Bed Bath & Beyond or whatever. He's like. And also, there's a serial rapist in Kingdom Heights or whatever. And he's sorry, that's a different job. He's like, so don't ignore that. Well, don't ignore it if you live in Kingdom Heights. Walk in pairs. Like it's just he's a cop and then he's working at Bath and Body. There's just so many great lines. Okay, so what's the other one?
All right, so the other one I have an actual premise for.
Wow. Okay.
Hangover 4.
Interesting, because Hangover 3 was
Straight
on the list.
Garbage.
Really? Wow.
3. No, 3 is garbage.
I've seen 3 and I don't remember thinking any of them were garbage.
That's the one with John Goodman.
Oh, yeah. That was the desert one.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it was a little shaky. Okay.
Compared to the other two.
Yeah.
So this is my premise.
Mm-hmm.
All the guys get together to go to Mike Tyson's bachelor party.
Whoa.
Mike Tyson's getting married. At that point...
that's not, wrong button. Go ahead.
At that point, you're telling me that everything...
Copyright.
...is on the table.
I'm saying people love the Mike Tyson scene enough that they would go just for that alone.
Yeah, but I'm saying, so you make... And then they lose Mike Tyson. They got to go find Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson's just about to fight, too? That could be the whole story.
Oh, man.
That's a good idea, Lamb. I just copyrighted it for you. I just saved your life with a copyright. So, okay, if you guys have any other number 2s that you think are actual trash, let us know. But we were just talking about it, and I realized, like I said, if you try and make a comedy... Okay, and now one of my favorite movies of all time, I get flack for it, but I love Men in Black #1. Will Smith in there and Tommy Lee Jones are just an absolute dynamic duo for me. I like early raw Will Smith, like when they just let him roll I thought was just unbelievably funny.
I don't know why, but that scene where he pulls the table.
Oh my god.
Where it's so loud.
Y'all want to get down on this?
His pencil breaks. He's just like...
Okay, so there's a great scene in that. Okay, so this is actually a really funny scene. If you remember in that scene when he's doing all that dumb shit and like he keeps messing with the room, they cut to Tommy Lee Jones and he's in like some weird like mirrored locker or something. Apparently he's supposed to have like a serious look on his face, but every time they cut over he was like laughing or something at Will Smith being an idiot. So like the cut they have of him is him like in there laughing. If you watch the scene, he's in there laughing. He thinks the whole thing is ridiculous. So yeah.
So you can tell half that was not planned.
And I liked that Will Smith, apparently when they got together, Tommy Lee Jones straight up said to Will Smith, I don't know how to be funny. Like, I'm not a comedy actor. I don't know what I'm doing. And Will Smith said, look, man, like, bounce shit off me, and I will give you tips as we go through this. And Will Smith told him, like, be flat, be very stern, and I will play off of you. You don't need to be funny. I will make you funny. And so I think that's kind of cool. But, yeah, anyway, my point was number 3, then turned out to be a big pile of shit. So,
but have you seen the newest one, The International? With Chris Hemsworth and another girl she was in
No
Thor.
Will Smith?
No Will Smith.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's actually...
decent.
I mean, it's a good movie to watch.
I thought number 2 was at least good enough to get through. I still think it's kind of junky, but it was at least like, okay, there was a couple like moments that kind of gave it some kind of decency. Oh, yeah, that's true. No, American Pie 2 is actually funny. You're right. American Pie 2 is actually funny. They go to the beach house.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about it. There's a lot of great movies. Great
Chaos ensues.
Yeah, they're painting the house, the women inside. There's actually really great. That's actually very true, Pat. That's actually a pretty good one. So, all right. So that's what we thought. That, like I said, if Borat 2 comes out, we got to watch it. But like I said, there's been a lot of number 2s recently that have been number shit. What is that?
Paul's talking about when he shoots a little girl. Ain't no little girl supposed to be out here with a physics textbook.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Those are quantum physics books. Those are way too advanced for her. She's about to start some shit, Zed. That was a good shot there, right? Yeah. That's my favorite, one of my favorite scenes. He's just, like I said, like I don't even know if that's in the script, man. He's just an idiot, you know. He's just a walking buffoon, dude. I just love Will Smith. All right, let's move on here. We can talk sequels all day, and we probably will again. What do you want to get into? Emojis or sport ball? Hey, what do you want to do?
Let's how you feeling?
I'm good.
Let's do emojis then.
All right, let's do it. Okay,
Texting, really.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so texting, really. I thought this story, this isn't really I'm not going to break any groundbreaking news for you guys here, but I do think this is interesting. And I think we have a pretty eclectic group of people that watch the show, from age groups wise, from guys to girls, from California to DC. I read an article today that said that there is a dramatic disconnect in the way that different generations approach texting, as all the way down to the punctuation used in texting. As soon as I read it, I was like, yeah, that's 1,000% true. And it said that generations that grew up texting. Now, let me specify. I did not grow up texting. I didn't get a phone until I was like maybe late high school, 16, 17, something like that. But I've had it longer than generations, before me, right? Obviously.
Even me.
Even you. You didn't get it till what, college?
College, I got my first phone, but that texting really wasn't a big thing right at first with phones. So I was probably like after college where texting really became like a thing.
Right, yeah. Okay, so for me, though, again, I grew up same thing where texting was, it started to become
T9 and you had to like
you
really,
had to
work for it.
Yeah, people were almost proud about how fast you could text. I mean, people still are proud about how fast they could text. But one of the things the article said was that my generation and the generation after me, what is it, Z or whatever? Generation X? What is it?
I think we're on Z now.
It doesn't matter. The generation after me, we find, and I say we because I do feel the same way, we find that full stops, meaning like, hey, I'm going out this weekend, period. We find that full stops tend to be a sign of either passive-aggressive, maybe you're angry about something, or it's just a shortened way, you're being brief, but it usually is a sign of maybe discomfort, or you don't like something, or you're not in a good mood, you're cranky. So for us, they said that it is really funny, but they've studied texting, and they say it's really like age group to age group. Age groups younger than me, and me included, I guess, would rather less. They said they use dramatically less punctuation, and the punctuation they use tends to be much more upbeat, much more, exclamation points and faces and emojis, and that way, and I said these to you, that way, when I do want to be serious, me sending just a very flat tone with a period at the end, I'm being very serious or that I'm upset about something. But other than that, you will probably get a very upbeat text. If anybody's ever texted me, there's going to be exclamation points. There's probably going to be a space in there. I might throw a pound in there. Like, I want you to know, like, I'm in a good mood and I'm trying to give you a good mood. But Lamb texts me all the time, and I feel like I'm texting a robot. And this is not an insult, but it is the absolute bare bones of what he needs to say. So if I say to him, hey, for our show tomorrow, I want to do this. If he's okay with that, I get cool, right? Like, that's it. If he's not okay with it, I get 3 other words, right? Like, whatever. But I know Lamb, so I know that's how he texts. But he said, he's never changed. It's not like you've had texting for 2 years. You've had it for 15 years now, right?
Yeah.
And you still,
I've had issues with this, apparently, in the past. Like,
yes.
Yeah, Pat, we're going to leave that alone.
Okay, so.
Yeah. But, it's like one of those things, like, I just am very information seeking and information giving when I am texting.
You're very
direct.
0 and 1, black and white. I want to know where you're at. And okay, if my dad's still watching, he's the same way. He's very now, my dad has actually loosened up a little bit. He will you can kind of see a little bit of the fun nature in texting, but it's very informational. And actually, I don't know if a buddy of mine is watching, but a buddy of mine messaged me 2 nights ago, and this is what really hit it for me was he's maybe 5 years older than me, 6 years older than me. I really don't know. But when he texted me, he said, hey, this is blank, his name, comma, and then he started all of what he wanted to say, which is only 2 sentences underneath that, just like you would write an email. And to me, it was so jarring because I never get text like that. Everything is just so junky and put together, so slangy and barely formed. You know, it's so poorly put together. I think that's really interesting. And like I said, for me, now this was my argument to you. You said I'm very information seeking and I just want to get information. What I explained to Lamb was the way that the generations after text, it leaves a lot more room. We've always talked about how we wish there was a sarcastic font, right? Or something so you could show people how you were feeling without actually having to say it. Because in person, I don't need that. Like, I don't need you to tell me you're being sarcastic. I don't need you to tell me you're being passive-aggressive. You can quite literally feel it.
Yeah.
Through a text, it's almost impossible. Because if I said to you, yeah, that sounds like a good time, that could be said 11 different ways and mean 11 different things. Yeah. Very, very easily. You know, that food was delicious. Oh, yeah, I thought it was really funny. Okay, well, it doesn't sound like you think it's really funny, right? Depending on how you say it. So when I get a text, my brain, the first way you read it, sometimes is the way you interpret it, and sometimes it's not the way they intended it to be. So I think for me, it gives a little bit more wiggle room when you kind of add some more punctuation and some fluctuation with the way you text. But I thought it was really interesting that quite literally, generationally, it has changed that much. And you said you don't really use emojis either.
I don't. I really, I struggle. The only one I ever really use is the winky face because, I try and, use sarcasm every now and then.
Yeah, just to let people know you're being sarcastic, though, right? But that's your intent. You're like, I want you to know I'm not being rude.
Because, if you read this without the winky face, I'm an asshole. So
Malcolm's in the chat, and he is one of our moderators, and I laugh because me and him passive-aggressively text back and forth. Not passive-aggressively, but we always use LOLs a lot. Me and him will almost always either start or end a text with LOL. Am I actually over there laughing like a psychopath out loud? No. But I want you to understand that if this was in person, we probably would be chuckling. And that's what I want him to understand. This is light and this is fun. So LOL used to mean laugh out loud. I think people used to really like, ha, ha, ha. But now it's, for me, I throw LOL in there. I'm just like, hey, that was like, that could have been that.
I don't know if I've ever texted LOL in my life.
Why not? You never laugh?
Well, not really.
You a miser?
You've met me. I don't laugh very often at all. Not a very fun person to be around.
I've never texted you one thing and you'd be like, hey, that's pretty funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, first off, I don't need to tell you that you're funny if you're funny. Yeah, it's cool. All right, cool.
That's true.
But I'm just saying, I don't think I've ever texted LOL.
Right, and so for me,
in my entire life.
And there's a lot of people that I text back and forth with, and like I said, the LOL is kind of a buffer. The 3 periods in a row are kind of a buffer. It's letting you know that I'm not hard stopping you. It's not that I said this. And I just think it's interesting that generationally, and now I don't mean this in a rude way, but generationally, my generation and younger is very concerned with how we speak to one another, even through text messaging, that we don't want to step on your toes. Now, I think generationally, people would say our generations are sensitive, and I think that's like a very common stereotype is that we're a sensitive culture. Maybe that's true, but it does seem that the care for how you speak to somebody is a little bit greater sometimes. And like I said, I think we're losing a little bit of that recently, especially with like the quarantine and the internet. But there's some of that a little bit. I don't know.
I mean, I see it in professional emails at work.
LOL smiley face. That's right, boy. LOL smiley face. But yeah, LOL smiley face is attached to almost all my messages. Just because I'm letting you know, man. I'm like, everything we're having is a good conversation.
But I'm starting to see it in professional emails.
For sure. For sure.
Like, people don't even address you in a professional email. They'll just write a sentence. They won't sign it. They won't write a sentence. They just write a sentence. Like, at that point, it's a text message.
I worked in a professional setting for a while there, and I would say that every email I ever wrote, most of the time I would start with the header of whoever that person is, and then I would write it. Now, if you're really going back and forth with one person, it starts to get very casual, and you start to stop that. But if you're replying all to multiple people, it needs to be professional. But I have actually seen in my career multiple times bosses or managers come to me and they'll say, oh, yeah, we have to deal with so-and-so from the company. And I said, just let you know, he's a little unprofessional with his emails. Like, it really does bother certain people. And certain, like you said,
well, I get them from parents when their initial email to me.
Yeah. Right. It's
just like, hey, blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. And you're like, and that's it.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Yeah, it's not like they're not taught the correct way to do it. Yeah, and like I said, I think
I get it from kids, like students and stuff like that. Like, it's just their nature. But like, you're a grown adult.
100%. 100%.
I don't teach like baby children either. Like these are like, like you're probably at least my age.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I said, I think for the most part, if you're emailing, you want to be professional. I just, like I said, the story I only thought was interesting for you guys because I've never actually heard it said out loud that generationally texting is different age group to age group. But they say, literally statistically, you can go to like age group, and depending on how old you are, you can really take a guess on how they will punctuate and how they will address somebody through a text message. Also, kind of that multi-text people do where it's like, kind of conversational. That is, again, a generational thing where my generation tends to like think it's a conversation. They want you to feel like you're there rather than, again, information seeking, But again, I do kind of prefer information seeking for the most part because I don't really like to converse over text. But anyway.
I think that's part of it too, is I don't like to just sit and text back and forth constantly.
That's true. I'm with you on that 100%.
But for me too, like, I don't know. Are there any emojis you hate? Because there's one in particular I despise.
I will say this. I actually dislike the laughing emoji because I just want a regular laugh. I don't need...
like a crying laugh.
Like,
or whatever.
I don't ever laugh like that anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't want people to think every joke they told was like just an out, like just a home run knock out of the park. Yeah, just crushed it. Sometimes it's like, hey man, that part was pretty funny. Ha ha ha. Like I'd like a chuckle. Like I'd like a chuckle emoji, right? I'd like that. I'd like a hug emoji. They kind of have this one with his arms up, but I'd like to give you a hug sometimes. They don't got a hug emoji. Other than that, the winky face is so sexual. I wish it was like a little less.
I know.
Like,
I need
provocative.
like some sort of
like
finger guns.
Finger guns and like that would be totally cool. Would be way less. The winky face has really been like turned into like, hey, what's up, girl?
I know. For me, the one I hate the most is the thumbs up.
Oh, somebody said GIF's got that covered. GIF's got that covered.
Yeah.
So, but I don't really do that either.
Yeah, I hate just the thumbs up as a response.
Oh yeah.
Like if I give you all this like information or whatever, and I get a that's all I see is your face.
Generationally, that was our K. When I was younger, if you got
that
a K
too.
back, if you got just a K back, somebody was pissed off, dude.
Yeah.
Somebody was being upset. Somebody was upset with you.
It's just like such a such a lame just like I don't know, like it just feels like such a just terrible like
Sir, thanks for that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I just thought it was interesting. If you guys do text, keep that in mind. It's been on here.
I know it's actually like super interesting to hear that.
Yeah.
I have to let some people know that it's just my generation.
Yeah, look, man, I don't mean to be rude. It's just the way I type. Yeah. All right, go ahead, and we're gonna jump into real quick the thing that we do here. The goalie drops back, catcher punch near the rim, slam, dunk, touchdown. Sports ball. Love that. Just love the whisper at the end. So much going on in sports, and I know you guys have heard about most of it, so we are not going to try and beat you to death with the same stuff, but we at least got to talk about some of it here. Okay, so first off, let's start with something a little bit more positive. Lamb, you had a funny story that I thought was...
Well, we'll start with yours. I got yours ready to go.
Oh, what's that? Oh, that's my man. Okay, so if you guys have ever watched football with me, which I can't imagine everybody here has, but if you... oh my God, there's two? Oh, no. I feel like nicknames have to be earned, right? Like I feel that way, unless it's like a nickname from high school or something, right? So Matt Ryan, the quarterback of the Falcons, has always been called Matty Ice. Every time they talk about Matty Ice on TV, the announcer will, every time he throws like one good pass, like there he is, Matty Ice. He has ice in his veins. They were saying that crap for years. Everything he threw had ice in his veins. And it used to piss me off because I said, look, man, this guy's never won a playoff game. He doesn't have a Super Bowl win. He's not like leading the leagues in fourth quarter comebacks. He's not leading the league in touchdowns. Like he doesn't. Well, why does he get Matty Ice, right?
I know why.
So the reason he actually gets Matty Ice, apparently they just went on a podcast the other day and they asked him directly, is apparently the story that he's been giving for years, or at least that has circulated him, is that some college coach said that he had ice in his veins, and that's why he called him that. Apparently,
has he ever said this?
I've never heard him talk about his own name. Never.
So we'll give him that one little little thing.
So this is a question they asked him directly, and this was his answer. You guys have
good game, or are we able to admit that it was a nickname because you
I'll
like to
say-
drink
I'll tell you
shit
what
with a
happened.
natty ice. That it was a nickname
Right there.
Definitely from
So
Natty
they
Ice.
asked him directly on the podcast how he got his nickname. They said, look, we know that a coach, they said the rumor was that a coach gave you a nickname, yada, yada. Is that true? And he said, absolutely not true. And he was like, and the guy said, now, the other thing that I heard from some of your friends was you got it because you only drank Natty Ice in college. Is that true? And he said, it has nothing to do with my playing days. It's 100% because I drank a ton of Natty Ice in college. That is a way better nickname now, man.
I give it, he can rock that for life.
Forever, I'm all the way back on board, Matty
If I'm
Ice.
Anheuser-Busch, I'm calling him today. Be like, yo, we never have made a commercial for Natty Ice until now.
He looks exactly the same in that picture as he does right now.
It's
which is-
ridiculous.
It's really funny. But yeah, so they asked him directly. He gave it a chuckle. He gave a very candid answer and said that he has nothing to do with him being ice cold or ice in his veins, which is fair because he doesn't have any ice in his veins.
Yeah,
First off, though, if you know anything about Natty Ice, it is such a college beer, dude, because Natural Light already is garbage and junky.
Yeah.
But it's really cheap, and it's like 2.3% alcohol or something like that, 2.9. Natural Ice is like 6% alcohol. Way worse.
same
taste.
price, though.
Same price, less taste.
What? No, I would say there's more taste.
Worse
It's
taste.
a worse taste.
It's a worse taste,
But
yeah.
there's way more
It's
taste.
so awful. I just think it's really funny. It tells me that he used to like really party hard, or at least try to. So it does make me laugh. Some of your chat said I think it's because he gets cold when you need him. Yeah, that actually sounds that explains his mediocrity. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, chat. Like he's been being called Matty Ice for years, and I get pissed
Based
off.
off of basically being a frat dude and
My
having
older
a
brother-
frat nickname of Matty Ice.
My older brother teases me every time he comes on. They're like, "Oh, there he is." I'm like,
There's
"I
your
see him."
boy, Natty Ice.
It's like Matty Ice, dude. You know he has ice in his veins. Like, dude, relax, dude. He has no ice in his veins. He's probably going to throw 2 interceptions and get carted off the field. Like, there's no ice there. So
He's got natural ice flowing in his veins, baby.
it's natural ice on both of his knees. Is what he So yeah, so
I love it. I love
I
it.
just love the story. I literally, it sucks because I wish I freaking knew the story years ago because I've been a Matt Ryan hater just because of his stupid nickname.
I
for
know.
years.
Now I like him way more.
I'm back on the train. So there he is with a.
I'll-
I don't know why he's holding it like a butler for some reason in that picture. He's got it like.
I can't tell if they superimpose. It looks kind of like they superimposed it because he's wearing a Falcons jersey.
You're so right. I'm sure they did. I don't know why I think that's a real picture. That's really funny, actually. It's got like a hacky sack or something on top, or is it, what is it, like a hat? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really funny. Okay, so we're moving on. Anyway, Matty Ice, natural ice drinker, gained a lot of respect. You're back in it. All right, so what's your story, Lamb?
All right, we got Spot and Pepper, baby. They got all these spots. Have you heard of these spot robots?
Spot robots?
Yeah.
No.
So Boston Dynamics makes these yellow robots. They're called Spot.
Uh-huh.
They're basically like dog shaped, and you can like have them do stuff. Like they
Okay.
come with a battery pack. They can like roam around. They have cameras and stuff. They can walk themselves upstairs. Kind of super creepy. They have a remote. You can drive them around. You can give them jobs. They have like backpacks you can give them that like they can like go into like hazardous areas and like map it out.
Oh,
and,
very cool.
Super crazy. And then apparently these Pepper robots over here, I'm not familiar with, but these white ones, these. So as you can see in the background here, they have these are Japanese baseball games, and they don't have not a lot of fans. So they've printed people and put them on there. But then they wanted a little bit of movement going on, so they have themselves.
They buy them or they rent them?
You can buy them. They're like $75,000 each.
You think they bought them?
Probably.
Oh my God, they're just cutting up out there.
Yeah,
Oh
they-
my God, they're all synchronized
Yeah.
too?
Yeah, you can make them work together and do stuff.
That is ridiculous. So, you know, it does feel like this Japanese baseball league, they really do get a lot of coverage. They're always doing something silly or
Yeah.
ridiculous. They
They really embrace it.
I feel like literally like 6 times a year, like even ESPN will cover something about the Japanese baseball league. I think it was a couple years ago, the guy hit the ball like backwards or something. Oh no, I know what it was. It was a couple years ago. The guy was famous because he was throwing like 40-mile-an-hour pitches or something.
Yeah.
He'd like wind up like he was really throwing it, and this lob ball would just come over, and people were like, "What the hell was that?" So yeah, Japanese is always doing something fun over there in the baseball league. So
I do. Yeah, I just appreciate that they're out there.
I like
getting
it. Yeah, spending $500,000 on robots to get dance for you. Yeah. Love it. All right, and obviously in the other news, the only other sports news is that there is no sports news because everything yesterday was canceled. Baseball, basketball, and then today hockey was canceled, and then a bunch of football practices were also canceled in protest. You
And
know-
Naomi Osaka walked off.
and Naomi Osaka, the tennis player, also walked off. Whether you agree with it or not, it's at least unprecedented. And I think I think if that is creepy. Yeah. Right, come on. If you're at a game, you want to see these robots cutting up. Like I said, whether you agree with it or not, it is at least very unprecedented. You don't see organization like this from leagues very often. And I think
I'd say this is the first time I've ever seen such a unified front from the
sure.
players for something that's like impacts them
very little.
Very little directly, but like could potentially, like financially, like is like it's not, has nothing to do with their sport.
Right, for sure.
Like, you know, they can see them being unified on like helmet rules in football or something like that. But like,
whether you feel one way or another about the actual incident that they're protesting, me and Lamb have not washed on the fact that what they're actually protesting against, I think they're very right in protesting against, which is that, you know, it does feel like they are unfairly targeted, at least, you know, police-wise.
2 sets of rules, maybe?
Yeah, that's what it feels like. So I feel like it's fair. If unprecedented. I feel like for me, like if you look back in history and you say like you look at like Rosa Parks or you look at like Martin Luther King, I guarantee the people back then didn't have any idea that Martin Luther King was even going to be like a famous person 50 years from. I really don't. Yeah. So I feel like today when we look at it and we just kind of scoff at it, or people say like, oh, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. I think 20 years from now it will be a huge deal. I think it'll be looked at as like a monumental point. You know what I mean? So that at least is very...
A big point that you made off air that I have to second was we were talking about like, they're like, well, people are like, well, why they keep talking about it? It's because now we're talking about it. And the news is talking about it.
Yeah. I see
all bringing to light these things. If you want distractions... and you want to use sports as distractions, they're taking that away. So you have to talk about these things.
Right, and it's one of those things where, like, I see people, even, like, you know, unfortunate Facebook friends of mine or something that are just bashing it and saying how stupid it is and, oh, yeah, like, they fix racism now. And it's like, look, like, whether you like it or not, those words are coming out of your mouth and that thought is on your brain. And so I feel like in a very small way, even though I know that they're trying for other things, I know LeBron's trying to organize some things, they're trying to work on polling centers, at the very least... every single person that watches sports even a little bit is aware of the issue. I think all by itself, that's a win.
Yeah, you're bringing eyes to the issue. That was their goal, and they achieved it.
And they won that. So I am, whether you are a fan of it or not, I am a fan, so I'm going to give them I think it's cool. All the sports seasons are a complete wash right now anyway. Who gives a shit? Like, everything is just a complete debacle. Everything has an asterisk next to it anyway.
LeBron, we know you're a big fan of the show, so if you want to come on and discuss the issues directly, we'll be happy to have you here. We'll zoom you in, you know, keep you safe out of in the bubble. But.
My main man, Bron, that's what I call him when I hit him up on the two-way. Bron. If you're ever around, hit us up on the show, man. We'll come in. We'll get you some special sound effects.
Yeah. Maybe he doesn't like my texting style, so he prefers when you text him.
We get like a bunch of Michael Jordan sound effects. The greatest of all time. Was that me? No, that was a Michael game. Yeah. Sorry, we couldn't find anything from here. That'd be really
apparently great. No audio of your games.
That's right. All right. Anyway, go ahead. We're done with sports ball here.
Yeah. So I got a surprise one for you.
Love it.
All right. So it's a kind of a light one. I wanted to have like a palate cleanser. I know we're talking heavy stuff.
Let's do it.
So we had talked about this a long time ago.
Back in '94.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. But apparently in Japan, they're starting Super Mario Land.
What? Yeah, that's right.
We talked about this. Some video for you, buddy.
What?
Of the Super Mario Land, or Super Mario World. I want you to watch this. This is actual video.
This looks like a model.
Yeah, I know. This is the place.
Wow.
That's the parking lot behind it.
This feels like, wow.
Yeah.
This feels like this guy's like in a tree or something.
Yeah. You know he's like climbed up some sort of tower or something. He's not supposed to be filming this for sure.
You say that's a parking lot. That looks like a go-kart or something, maybe.
Maybe
like,
I think
maybe like a Mario Kart or something? It could be something like that.
I would love it, but I have a feeling it...
Oh, can we see? Shit. Oh, I'm sorry. We're idiots.
Sorry.
We're sorry. Good. Thank you for calling us out. And if you're sitting at home, it literally looks exactly like a...
We'll start over again.
It literally looks like a Nintendo level. Yeah, can you full screen it maybe? Is there a full screen option on that? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, there is. Boom.
There you go. There you go, folks. I don't know. There might be a parking lot back there, but it could be some kind of racetrack. Everything. Oh, there's Bowser's Castle right there. Very, very cool.
Look at that, chomps.
You got the coins.
Like, apparently, they put like special paint on it to give it that flat, two-dimensional look, so it doesn't.
It does. Yeah. Like I said, it almost feels like you're walking around one of the levels. Very, very cool. I'm not trying to be that guy. I assume it's got to be bigger than this too, right? Like this seems like really small.
I think this is it for now.
Okay.
There might be rides and stuff, but this is like the thing you walk around.
Okay. Very, very cool.
Like Yoshi just chilling, walking around the tree.
I really, like I said, I wonder, I really would, you would feel like, oh man, that's really cool. I love that our chat.
Yeah, this is definitely an illegal sneak peek. Some people,
yeah, this dude's really just hanging out like in a tree somewhere. Just,
but
like,
I'm glad he's got that real telephoto lens.
He
like,
does. He's locked in.
Like he's not.
Pow! Oh,
yeah.
That's so cool.
Jump up there. Like apparently, there's gonna be like interactive things where you can collect coins in the world with like an AR app.
I hope somebody goes and tries to jump their head against
Yeah.
that question mark and just conks themselves unconscious. Yeah. Very cool. Okay, so that was a story we covered a while ago. We heard it was going to happen. That is way cool. It doesn't look like they're going to allow me in there. It looks like it's strictly for kids. I literally could step over all that.
I mean, I'm bigger than you. I played Mario before you were born. I'm an original fan.
You don't know anything about it.
You bunch of poser punks.
I was 4 years old trying to jump over lava. You have no idea what I went through.
You don't understand. We used to have to put on Channel 3.
Yeah, that's right. Do you even know what Channel 3 is?
Coax cables. Felt like I was like performing like a repair on the space shuttle when I was like hooking that thing onto the back of the TV.
Somebody said a while back, somebody said to me something about like, what's something that when you're years later, when you're older, you could say to a grandkid they would never understand. And that's what it was. It was turn to Channel 3 so we could play video games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of funny. All right, let's move on here. You know, I think that's pretty much it. The only one I want to go out on is this haunted house here. Real quick here.
Nope. That's not, I got, there you go.
Yeah, you go. I thought this was cool. So in Tokyo, apparently they're trying to do some socially distant, appropriate, Halloween thing. So what they have done is they've created a drive-through haunted house. You come up in your own car. I believe, but then again, afterwards, I read somewhere that they're going to wash your car.
Yeah, there's a zombie cleaning off the car.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking, like, I know people in their car. There is a lot of people that are not going to be okay with this.
I know Malcolm's definitely in on this.
No way. I'm saying you're going to have to find a friend with, like, a clunker, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how it's going to have to work.
They should just have a rental car out front.
That's
like
true.
You drop your car off, and they just ride through. Like, they sanitize it or whatever when you're done.
They said that it's actually really fun. They said you go through, they scare the bejesus out of you. They said that you drive through multiple little things and it scares you. I think it's really a clever idea. And they said afterwards you
you can get your own car.
Oh, okay, good.
Because apparently it's Tokyo and a lot of people don't have cars in Tokyo.
Oh, so there you go. You can get somebody else's car and smash it in. So apparently, again, you drive it around. Then afterwards, apparently, you even like shake hands and talk to the goblins and ghouls or something. I don't know. That's what they said. I love the idea. Like that's something that like as far as haunted houses go,
apparently it's parked the whole time.
Oh,
your car.
So they're just coming at you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're like trapped in the car and like they're coming at you.
This is $85.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or 9,000 yen.
I only have 8,000. So okay. So for 8,000, you can use your own car. For 10 more bucks, I can use somebody else's car.
Maybe it's that plus that.
Nah.
I'm saying like that's the entrance fee. Or so you're saying $10 you get a car?
I think so, dude. I think $10 you get somebody else. I mean, you're not like you said, you're not driving anywhere. You're just sitting in it. What the hell does it matter?
I guess yeah. You get out and they sanitize it, and they don't have to clean it as much. I guess.
I'll take the $10.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm down. Anyway, I thought it was a cool idea as far as socially distanced crap goes. We've had some really fun ones on this show with the bumper bar, and we had the concert, and
there was a stripper.
The
drive-through strip
club. Yeah, we all sorts of really ridiculous ones. So, love that. But that's all we got for you guys today, man. We had to, what's up? What else we got?
Petty?
Oh shit! You know what, Lamb? You're right. We gotta do it, dude.
Gotta give the people what they want.
Gotta do it here.
Petty story of the week.
That's right. We gotta do a little petty story. I do like to get petty. You know, I have been looking for some petty stories, and we don't always have the segment because I try to reserve it for when I do like a petty story. This one actually I did think was pretty good. So this one we've actually heard something similar to this before, and I feel like a lot of petty stories have all
somebody being petty. Weird.
No, not that. But there's roommates borrowing things they shouldn't borrow. Yeah. So this is a girl. She said she lives with a roommate, and she said she's very clear with a roommate about the stuff in the house and what is able to be used. Her rule, same rule I have, which is if you use it, just replace it. I don't care if you drink all the rest of the milk, go buy a new one. If you finish up the bread, you need whatever you use, try to use some new ones. She said the biggest issue she has is that she constantly takes stuff, doesn't ever replace it. And then she finally will get on her and really ride her about it, and she'll do it that one time and then never do it again. She said one of the things that really bothers her is washing powder. So washing detergent, laundry detergent. This article makes me think it's not in the United
British
States.
maybe.
Yeah, washing powder makes me laugh. But she said she came home one day and she had a bunch of loads of laundry to do. She knew she had like half a box left. She came in, it was completely empty. She said she just completely snapped. She said she bought a new one. And then she also bought some machine dye, some like pink dye or whatever. And said when you mix it all up with the powder, it's really hard to tell what anything's going on. She said she did that, left about a half-empty box on the floor, and just let it sit there. And she said about 2 weeks later, she came home, and her roommate had all her clothes hanging from the line, and every single ounce of their clothes was completely pink. So all of her outfits were completely trashed. She said she came up and asked me what had going on. She said, I didn't want to tell her that I completely trashed her clothes on purpose. So I said, well, I hope you didn't use my washing detergent because I was going to try and dye some clothes. She's like, yeah, well, all my clothes are. She said, well, you should probably ask me next time, before you use my shit. She said ever since then, she has literally never used her washing detergent. So lesson learned in a very, very petty and harsh way.
It's weird because it's like on that line for me.
It is.
Of like, did she go too far? Because...
somebody's clothes got ruined.
Well, you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you're ruining things.
Yeah, for sure.
Forever.
Yeah.
Not like.
However, you tell somebody once, 3, 4, 5, 10 times. At certain points, come on, man.
It's that line.
I know. So
I don't know.
I know. It really is on that petty line, but
I do like her cover. That
I was gonna dye some clothes.
Made it like kind of
less vengeful. Yeah. Like I was just gonna dye some clothes, and then you came in here and used my shit anyway. So
without asking,
I liked the pettiness. But anyway, guys, like I said, I wasn't feeling great today, so we're gonna cut it off on that. But I had a blast anyway with you guys.
We're gonna stick around for a second if you could, guys. We really appreciate it. We're gonna try and raid somebody like we did last time.
Right.
It worked out really great for you. If you weren't here, we're gonna see.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is, Lamb, you can go ahead and do this while I explain it. Basically, what we did last time is we raided. Andy Milanox is there again. Yeah, let's do it. Well, I don't care. We can raid somebody else.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Okay.
See if he remembers us.
Okay, so what we did last time was it was called rating. We take all our viewers, the people that are watching us, all you guys, and we just dump you into his. Andy Milanox is like a famous comedian for a while ago. And what's a cool way to do it is we give him viewers, and then we're hoping then maybe in the future, if he's ever done broadcasting, that maybe he will throw his viewers back our direction. But if you jump in there after we drop it in there, just say, if you feel like it, you can just say 2 Dumb Idiots brought us. You guys should check it out. Other than that, I don't care. As soon as we do that, you guys can bounce out. But it's just a nice way for us to say thank you to some other streamers in the community. So something we're going to try and do a little bit more often here. But it is something we are trying to figure out how to do. Yeah. Actually, last time we got really lucky. So if you guys don't remember Andy Milonakis, he had his own show on MTV for a while.
Oh, okay.
Kind of a strange guy, because if you look at it when we rate him, you'd think he's like 25 or something. He's actually like in his 40s, and he's just a really, really nice guy, really funny guy. But he does have kind of a strange look to him. But do you remember the Andy Milonakis show?
I do.
I used to remember the whole rap.
Didn't he?
Oh my God, what was the rap? Somebody give me one lyric from that rap. Got cheese on his head. Oh, cheesehead. Got peas on my head. Don't call me a pea head. That's it. Lord, you were on fire today, dude.
I'm gonna see.
Yeah, bees on my head. Don't call me a bee head. Yeah. Please excuse me. I got to get my tree fed, dude. This guy was killing it back in the day. Oh my God, all this stuff was coming back. The fact that I can remember all of it after you guys give me one lyric makes me feel like he was on to something. He said something about cream cheese and a locket or something. Oh my God, now I gotta go watch.
Had
this damn
really
thing.
bad sleep.
Andy Milonakis is the clown.
I'm gonna try this Valerian route tonight. What time is it for me right now? 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30.
Something in my pocket. I feel like people probably harass him all the time.
I don't know. If I wake up, I ordered
be able to hear him. I couldn't.
Oh fuck! It's here in 2 minutes. All right. I guess we'll watch a couple.
Nah, you were. It was something.
A couple videos.
Remember, because you were.
Last time I got it ready.
Because I ordered I shouldn't even scream when I'm like this. I'm like fucking incoherent.
I think you just did it.
But I got the raid part. I just want to be able to hear it.
Did it come across the screen? You already raided it?
Not yet. All right. A bunch of people ready, guys. You ready? Blow up his chat, guys.
Yeah,
like,
blow him up.
What's the point? And I mean, like, what the fuck?
He was really cool. I don't know what he's watching.
Oh, hello.
Thank you, the 2 dumb idiots.
Hell yeah, man.
More like 11 dumb idiots. I'm just kidding. So I ordered something that is nice and comforting.
Like 11 dumb idiots. Stupid idiots. Man, everybody in there. Hell yeah. Man, that was awesome. That was actually really great. Bunch of shouts.
I think maybe it'll wake me up a little bit. Hey, no problem, dumb idiots.
Hey, guys, thanks for following us along. Another good clip here. Make sure to catch us out on Twitch and hit that subscribe button right here.